Do you know that this is the first time in NBA history that a team like the Charlotte Hornets, who have been who they are, have beaten the 3 previous NBA champions, smoked them in a season? Nobody has ever done that in NBA history, Mars. Smoked them.
What do you mean smoke? What like no
20 plus
points? Win by a lot.
They beat Denver, smoked them. They
Denver
beat
didn't
Oklahoma
have any
City.
of their players in that
what?
game, though.
They won the NBA championship.
Swiper, y'all got BTA.
Nobody played in that
other
game.
wins against
is
top
a- this is a
competition.
little
Not just one game they won.
No, he brought up that game. No one played except for Murray in that game. That's it.
Nobody.
It's a cool stat. That's all it is.
Nobody played in that game. I can tell you,
ESPN
some dudes played when they went into Oklahoma City though, and they kicked their ass.
No, they
Yes,
did.
They
did.
They went in
beat
Oklahoma City. Some boys' ass. Yes, they did do that.
They beat the Celtics yesterday.
Yeah,
They destroyed Boston. That was the game I was watching.
I watched that game more than any other game, Mars.
Yeah, that was the game I was watching. Then it obviously got out of
I
hand.
don't have anything
really on the
invested in
trend.
this,
Yep.
but I can tell
Okay.
you right now, Ron, I did not appreciate that ass whooping in Boston one bit. I did
I
not
loved
appreciate that at
I
all.
loved it.
That was some bullshit.
I love
Y'all
that.
dudes looked at them dudes like they were the Charlotte Hornets of old, and they came in and they kicked your teeth in. That was a bullshit.
I mean, but see, no. Wait. That's why I brought Charlotte up, though, Chill. Most people are treating Charlotte as if they're the same Charlotte of old.
exactly
It
what's
irritates me
going
so
on.
much, right? Like, I'm not even guaranteeing that this team is 100% going to the finals. Factually, they've been the best team in basketball since the first day of January. They've been dominating teams.
Like that.
I think they're one of 4 teams to win 6 games straight by 15 plus points.
Smoking
and more
them.
importantly, the shooting has been lethal. The talks about, okay, Ball is not a player who can win. Well, when he's on, they're the best team in the league. Like, these are things that are true. And the scary part that should terrify everyone, but people aren't watching the games, is that defensively, they've been top 5 over this last stretch too.
Really
If
good.
that holds with their rebounding and their shooting, because again, what's so funny is we criticize OKC because they'll have games where their shots don't fall. This is a team that legitimately has so much shooting variance, it can swing positive more times than not on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it, though, because they're young, they're not proven. Like, this team was at the bottom of the bottom at the beginning, and part of it was because Ball was hurt, so was, I would say, Brandon Miller, and they were still trying to get a healthy consistency. They're getting together, and these players who have been hurt, which because of that haven't had much value, are getting the reps, and the team is figuring out their identity.
So what are you saying? They're going to the finals? Like what?
I'm saying this team is the best team in basketball right now.
Playing like this,
I think going into the playoffs, they can scare a lot of teams because of how good they've been on both ends. I truly do believe that. I don't think this is the team where I'm like, they're cool. I think this is real because how many other teams in, I would say league overall history have made this spin for this long? I think it's real. I do. Will they win? I don't know.
Team in the East playing right now. So Orlando, Miami, Charlotte, and them. They're the best team of all.
Swiper, around this time last year, around March of 2025, you were consistent about the Indiana Pacers. You kept telling us about that, and I was scoffing at it because I didn't think that this Indiana Pacer team was that good just all around. Come to find out, they were a lot tougher than what I thought they were. That offense was way better than I thought it was, and defensively, they were elite. This last stretch of the season. Are we looking at a similar situation with Charlotte?
0 playoff experience. I mean, it can't happen, but this would be even different than OKC. OKC had at least had playoff experience. The Patriots had playoff experience. So this would be brand. I'm just saying it can't happen, but it's definitely possible. It's like possible that them getting Con Canepa will change their fortunes this much where they make the finals the first year that he hits the roster. Like it could just be that they're that
the
good.
Experience, I don't think we can't really factor in the experience because Mars literally just brought it up 5 minutes ago. There's people in here that think that the Spurs can win the NBA championship. They got 5 dudes, and they got 5 dudes on their. But
it's different because they think Wemby is a top 5 player, right?
But even if that's the case, we just brought up.
They also have a champion on their roster, respectively.
Yes, they do.
Grant Williams.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, you figure the Spurs, what they got? They got one guy and they starting 5 that been to the playoffs. That's it. And that's Fox.
Well, Harrison Barnes is on the roster too.
I thought he started. No, I don't think he starts.
Well, we have Pat Connaughton.
Yeah, Pat
You have Pat Connaughton.
We
have Xavier Tillman.
But the Spurs are also just levels better than the Hornets.
You've been using we a lot for the show.
There's a lot of weed.
They are 100%, Ron. That's not. That's not
the Spurs are just better than
where Musa goes, I go.
Musa Diabate, a real one.
Yeah.
Bro,
He did get that steal last night, went coast to coast and banged that. I was like,
Jalen Brown.
They're a great story.
Brown
We got-
got
we have Bismack Biyombo. Okay, we have Harris and Barnes. Like, you know what I mean? We got Jordan McLaughlin, all been on playoff teams, so there's plenty of
respect.
We got Luke Cornett, yeah, champion.
Luke Cornett,
but gifted.
champion? No champion.
You know,
he got more important things to do with right now. He getting fried by the whole of Atlanta, so
Gifted. I want to ask you though, because like you
Kelly
obviously
Olynyk.
being a Detroit guy, the Hornets are going to more than likely make it out of the play-in based on the way you guys are talking about them. So if they happen to get that 8
they're gonna get the 5 seed. What are you talking about? Make their way out the play-in? They're only 4 games back of 5.
Yeah, they're very, very close right now.
I'm just speaking on what's going on right now, which is what.
Right now, the best team in
now.
basketball is 4 games back of the 5th seed.
I'm just talking about the snapshot of right now.
Yeah, look, you don't want to talk about the real reality.
So you mean like today?
The real reality. No, the real reality is if they're like that, they're gonna have to see the best team in the East, the real best team in the East. So I'm asking Gifted if the Charlotte Hornets were to play against the Detroit Pistons,
they can beat the Pistons. Is that a hot take?
No, it's not a hot take to say they can beat the Pistons because I'm not asking you in a hypothetical. I'm asking you, who are you putting your money on? I want you to definitively tell me that the Hornets will beat the Pistons. Do you believe that? I'm
not giving you definitives because I need to see more data from both teams. My problem with Detroit is that the secondary ball. Hang on, because what they're trying to do is force me into a situation where I fully pick a team without me having a significant enough sample size from both teams. I think Detroit can still get to another level.
We're in March, Gifted. It's March 5th. Okay. We've seen everything you just said over the last 22 games. These dudes are 20-2. You're from Detroit, which leads me to believe you.
I am.
The games
I've been going to the game
on your local. So you be at the games.
I've been going to the games.
Have a large enough sample size. These teams have played 60 games. You should. If you ask me, I'm gonna tell you that the Pistons are gonna smack the Hornets. I can give you a definitive answer.
Why do you say smack?
Charlotte has played.
That's what he believes.
They're not smacking the Hornets. I don't believe that.
They smoke.
They might, but like, I don't see the problem with Gifted saying the Hornets can win, but that doesn't
mean
no.
I know that I think everybody up here believes that the Hornets can win.
No,
that's not the question that I'm asking you. That's not the question that I'm asking.
I think it's probably just me, Gifted, and Penn who think.
I don't think that, Ron. I don't think.
I don't even know about Penn.
Of course, I think the Hornets can win. Like there's they obviously.
I don't think they will, but I think they can. I think they can upset a few teams.
Okay.
You know how much I have to believe in a team for me to say my blank, like my team. Like in our group chat, I've been saying respect my Hornets. I love this team, yo.
Do you think the Raptors will beat the Hornets in the playoffs?
You've been talking about them. This is like
if the Raptors played the Hornets, I got the Hornets.
Me too.
What? Wait.
If the Raptors
one more time. Raptors versus the Hornets. Who you got?
Oh my God!
I got the Hornets. I got the team with the better shot generation. I don't like where the hell our team has been going the last couple weeks. Sorry to tell you, everyone up here isn't going to be lying for their team, yo. Some of us are trying to be objective and trying to be real.
Sure.
Good. That was good ass editing.
Right about
that. Ron, that was some good ass editing on the fly. I appreciate you. Appreciate you doing that.
I don't know how I've been biased about Denver. I don't know. I've been biased about Denver the whole time.
We got 20 games left. They're 4 games back from the 5 seed. They can get out of the play-in.
Okay,
it's very possible.
Okay, so we need Philly, Orlando, and Miami, and Toronto. By the way,
they're right there with Orlando and Miami anyway. They're gonna catch them in about a week and a half.
We need Toronto to go to pieces, Mars.
You need
them to go to pieces.
You need Toronto to keep up the pace they've been going.
Toronto has been very unhealthy. Like honestly, Scotty playing very hurt right now. RJ is still trying to recover from that leg. He hasn't gotten his explosiveness back. Emmanuel Quickly's finally playing well, but I'm sorry, like I'm not seeing the consistency from this team, and I see that whatever advantage we had early in the season has been scouted to death at this point. We already knew our roster didn't make sense when we called the Celtics about trying to get Derek White this summer. So it's not a surprising thing to me that we're getting beaten by all these really good teams. We've lost, you're going to appreciate this. We've lost to the Knicks 4 times. Because of the stupid in-season tournament, we have to face that team 5 times this year. Because of the way the standings are based out, we might actually face them in the playoffs, which means we might become the first team to lose 9 straight to a single team in the same year.
That's never happened.
That's never happened because I don't think it can happen, but it could happen to us. So I'm just saying, I don't think that's going to happen. I do believe in Scotty. I do believe in BI. I love the Raptors, but I still believe that the Hornets just make more sense as a basketball team. And I think most people should see that.
I think that's evident versus the Boston game again. Like, I would love to break down that game too, because it's like what Charlotte has been doing from the very beginning. The thing LaMelo is not getting enough credit for, the off-ball screens he has been setting. That gravity alone is opening up way more things. And they have so many guys who can ball handle, shoot threes, and then defensively, they've been very, very solid. Musa is one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. Like, he's been phenomenal. And I think all of that coherently works because almost every position can pass, shoot, or be athletic. When you have all of those factors, you give yourself a chance. My thing with the Pistons, and I've gone to these games, Ron. I've gone to these games. I've watched a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Offensively, it can get really, really wild sometimes. And if Cade is having a like, I would say bad game, he doesn't have another guy as a shot creator who can really take over the games. I like their defensive overall variance. I feel like LeVert can swing a game. It's possible, but they're mainly a team that's built and predicated on their defense. Guess what team is the most potent offense in the league? Is Charlotte. So that's why I don't know. I think that would be a really interesting matchup.
So I would want to see that. On a scale, because you just said really well, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being, I don't know, the Chicago Bulls in 1996 offense, 1 being the Dallas Mavericks in 94. What's the line with the Detroit Pistons in terms of their offense when it gets real wow?
Boy,
I suspect he's going to say 8.
It's almost like 7, 8. Like, it's really like I'm chill. You're seeing it in real time, right?
I am.
They like Cade has to basically play make out of nothing a whole lot. No one is there to really take the pressure off them consistently off the ball that much. Jalen Duren has been spectacular. I've loved him, of course. Sure. But like when you're going up against a team that can punish you offensively for your mistakes, it's a different thing. Like that's what matters so much to me, you know?
The Pistons could use a conker nipple.
They could. They really
could.
They got
a late defense, though.
Can you think
they had
of a team that can't use a conker nipple?
I ain't gonna lie.
True.
A team that can't use a conker nipple, though? Think of one team that couldn't
I can't think of a team right now. Nipple wouldn't make that.
And pretty much every team he make better.
To give this point about this Detroit Pistons team, the way that they were put together in terms of a certain style of play, right? So you got long ball shooters, you got dirty work guys, and your game was your team was going to win based on a lot of defense and a lot of dirty work. And on top of that, they're ahead of schedule. By show of hands up here, how many of y'all had the Detroit Pistons at the top of the Eastern Conference coming into this year?
Not
by show of hands.
I had them winning the chip. So I mean,
okay, so that's one guy. One guy had this. One guy had
76ers in the finals. By the way,
stupidly had Orlando.
Yeah, he had the 76ers go to the finals.
The predictions I make on your channel aren't the predictions I make here.
Okay.
You just hedging your bets on 4 different channels.
The point that I'm making.
I did the same shit last year.
The point that I'm making with the point that I'm making.
If you bring me on your channel, I'll have a different prediction.
The point that I'm making with the Detroit Pistons is that they are ahead of schedule. And what they are trying to do, right? They ended up bolting to the top of the Eastern Conference. And now the stuff that's wrong with them, very much like when Kevin Durant gets on this Houston team, the stuff that's wrong with Sengun, the stuff that's wrong with Amin Thompson, you see it more because you got to win. And with you having to win, that stuff that you're supposed to be good at, you have to consistently be good at that. So the Detroit Pistons being bucket getters, to your point, Gifted, like needing bucket getters and needing these guys to be consistent. We need Duncan Robinson to be a consistent long ball shooter, right? We need this kid Jenkins, who none of y'all knew who he was.
I love Dennis Jenkins, by the way.
I love absolutely Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah.
I love this kid Dennis. None of y'all knew before the season started who this dude was. Comes into your rotation and has been a positive for you guys. But Jalen Duren has gotten better. We weren't having conversations about who he was last season and this season. We weren't doing that. But now we're ahead of schedule and, they need this, they need that. Well, wait a minute. We're still trying to figure out where we are. And now what we're doing is we're accelerating this process and we might screw this up. So be careful.
Yeah. Fellas, I'm looking at the schedule right now, the Charlotte Hornets. And there's some big games between now and the end of the season that I think we all should have circled on our calendar.
Okay.
The first game is at San Antonio, March 14th. That's going to be on Prime Video. That's a nationally televised game. It's a Saturday game too. It's a day game. 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern.
Don't they plan Prime TV games before the season starts?
The matinee.
I don't know. That's a Hornets by 17 in that game.
That's an industry plan.
Can't they adjust it as the season goes on? If it's
Yeah,
they can, right?
Or the Hornets could be an industry plant.
They flex games.
Industry plant.
They changed
Industry plan is funny.
That could be a national televised game for Spurs, though. Like, yeah.
So that's March 14th, right?
Ron, it's 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Get it right. Not everybody live on the West Coast. Just so
they play Miami next.
That's what I said.
That's the big
game.
game.
Yeah, but that's free East. The last time
nobody goes off of West Coast time. By the way, no one does.
Does anybody go off West Coast time?
No one.
Nobody uses
the American economy, Canadian, Mexicans. No one goes off of Western Conference.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna like East Coast the best coast, bro.
Yeah, because all the best cities are on Eastern time. That's what you know, right? New York, Toronto,
So as you were saying,
Detroit.
Ron. As you were saying, Ron, March
Miami.
14th, which, by the way, Ron,
I want one of them cities to win a championship.
And Ron, please don't leave out because you brought up
One of them has
the 14th of March. Please don't leave out. That's the back end of a 4-game West road trip. San Antonio smokes them in that game. I don't think they.
How much you want to bet?
Smoke them. I'm down to.
So the Hornets get 2 days of rest, but because they're on the West Coast, they're gonna get smoked.
I get that. I got San Antonio.
Wait.
That does happen.
I will guarantee the Hornets do not get smoked in that game.
I
will guarantee
I
it.
got 20 right here.
Bet.
What are you betting?
What's the bet?
I bet
the Charlotte Hornets will not
meanwhile,
lose.
I want to make sure if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this hate on the Hornets. This is the Spurs playing the Hornets after having a stretch of games where they play the Pistons, the Clippers, the Rockets, the Celtics, and the Nuggets. All in a row right before they play the Hornets.
Yep.
But because the Hornets are on the West Coast, when they have 3 days of rest between their last game and playing the Spurs, they're going to get smoked. And the Spurs have to run through the gauntlet of all of these teams, and they're just going to smoke Charlotte.
Please tell the rest of the story. Tell everybody where they're playing those games at, Mars.
They're playing them at home. What is that?
Right,
what is that?
we don't have to get on the plane. We don't have to get on the plane. We don't have to.
Yeah, you. Oh wow, I don't have to get on the plane to see the best.
You don't have to worry about time change.
The second best team.
You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. We got all of these guys are coming to our building. So make sure you tell the whole story, Mars.
Yeah, cool.
Neither one of you are telling the whole story.
I get to stay at home to play the best team in the East, the second best team in the East, the third best team in the West, the fourth best player in the world, according to a lot of people. And then I get to see, my game off. Oh, Kawhi Leonard's coming to the
building. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But at least because I'm at home, that means I'm going to smoke the Hornets.
6 games. It's a 6-game homestand.
You guys are missing one of the biggest parts of the story, which is the 6 minutes per game the glorious King Carter Bryant is going to play. That is going to alleviate all of this.
When they're already down,
all of this tax. You know.
Can I ask you about a serious question?
I never said
tell the whole story.
I want to make sure me and Chill.
One team's on the road. One team's coming up.
Let's get to the bottom.
Okay. So for clarity, what we're saying is you believe that on March 14th, the Spurs at home are going to blow out the Hornets by 15 points. Is that the number you're giving me? What's the exact number?
I just want to make sure that we're clear.
Yeah.
Whenever I say smoked, I say smoked, it's 15 plus. So
bet.
Okay,
cool.
So right here, Gifted, I think the Charlotte Hornets on a back end of a 4-game West Coast road trip, seeing the San Antonio Spurs, who are at a 6-game homestand, I think San Antonio is going to smoke them dudes.
Okay,
on a Saturday.
I will take that bet. My Cash App is $Get the Who's. We can do that.
Absolutely.
We can do that.
Deal.
Shake.
Yes, sir.
Shake.
Do the Hornets have a better future than the Lakers?
Yep. Easily.
I didn't expect that of you.
Easily.
Okay.
Even with Luka?
Yep. Easily.
The Hornets have the best player between the two teams.
They do not. What?
In the future, they
all trolling aside, Mars. I see what you're looking at when I watch.
And Mars isn't talking about LaMelo.
When I watch Charlotte, Mars, and I'm being honest with you, and I'm talking basketball here. I see what you're looking at when you watch.
Chill, would you rather have Con Knuckle or Luka Doncic 5 years from now? Chill.
Luka, stop it.
I'm asking Chill.
That's around my question.
Chill.
Like,
no.
That's really
Chill.
not.
Would you rather?
Like,
no.
That's
Ron.
really not a crazy
32-year-old Luka or 25-year-old Con Knuckle.
That's what I'm saying. That's really not a crazy question.
That's what I'm thinking about, Swiper. That's exactly what I'm thinking about, and I'm thinking about how Luka is going to age. We've already talked about the athleticism waning now. Like, what is it going to look like 5 more years from now? And
by the way, Luka will be older than what Jokic is right now. Just so you give me
32 years old, 100%. 32 years old. Wow, man.
This game is not predicated on.
Well,
Twitch.
I'm asking Chill, Pin.
That's an interesting question for me.
Chill is thinking, so we are talking.
To be honest with you, Swiper,
not a game
He's
show.
Still talking currently.
Swiper, to be honest with you,
I'm crying.
But to be honest with you, I would have to go with the younger guy moving forward. Yes.
So we got Ant Edwards and Khan added to that list.
I would have to go with the younger guy.
Hey, now I got Tijon Solano.
That doesn't mean that is he a better player? That just means moving forward, I'd rather have the 25-year-old.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. With a check throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoop talk hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.